You also need water to live, or even like COVID symptoms. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby Grace. So for most people, school has either started or it's just around the corner. It's in a couple days. I'm going to be a senior this year in high school. And so I decided in like the back to school season and just me going into my last year of high school that I would put together a little video for you guys about some advice that I have for going to high school and some tips that I have. I actually made a list. I have it all sorted out. I'm going to be talking about stuff to do with grades, how to get good grades, or just how to stay on top of your grades. Health, because that's important, especially when you're in high school. It's a lot bigger. Social, and again, I'm going to go over it all more in detail. It's like having a social life in and outside of school. Grade/class specific, so like stuff specific to that I would give advice to freshmen or that I would give to sophomores. And then there's some just general overall things about high school. So like I said, I'm going to be a senior this year, so I haven't experienced my senior year yet. So all this advice is going to be mainly for if you're in middle school and you're worried about high school, or you're going to 8th grade and you're getting ready to go to high school, if you're a freshman or even a sophomore who didn't get to go to physical school last year and you have no idea what to expect, and even sometimes for those who are going to be juniors this year, because junior year it's a little bit different than your first two. I will at the end of the year be making another video specifically for senior year. So I'm going to first talk about grades, how to like get good grades or how to stay on top of your grades. So from what I've heard, both at other high schools and even at mine a little bit, a lot of the time schools or teachers will push AP classes, and you don't know what AP means, it just means like advanced program. So they're college level classes in high school, and a lot of times these schools will push AP classes and they'll say like, oh, you need them to graduate, or you need them for this. You don't need AP classes. If you feel up to the challenge and you want to take a college level class without committing to a college class, then take them. They're a little bit different from what I've heard than college classes. They do help boost your GPA. It's not by a lot depending on the class, but they do help it a little bit, but you don't need to take them. So if you're stressed or worried about having to take an AP class, don't worry, you don't need to do it. A lot of the times you can they'll offer two types of classes. They'll do the regular honors class, or they'll do AP version. So for like US history, we had honors US history, or we had AP US history. I took AP US history, regretted it. Not because it was a bad class, it was a lot of work. My next tip for keeping on track of your grades would be just to have an organization plan or planner. So I always have a planner. I just think they're great. You can write everything down. It helps me to see everything that I need to do. This is mine for this year. It's just got like fuller months here at the beginning, and then each week is like this, so I can have all from my different classes. And then this one actually has stickers in the back. Some kind of organization plan. You can even just have like a journal and just write down what you need to do for that day. This will help you keep track on assignments that are due, homework that you need to do that night, just overall stuff that needs to be turned in so you can stay on top of your grades and all your work you have to do for a class. Going with that, time management. I'm a procrastinator. I'm not going to hide that. I've many times, and probably will in the future, wait until the last possible minute to do a project just because it's me. So I get that. A big tip I have is work on time management, because you're gonna like think you have enough time, and then it's either gonna be like due in 2 days or the next day, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, you haven't started, you have no time for it. You don't want to be in that situation, like I have and will continue to. So work out like, okay, I'm going to work on this amount of pages for a project today, and then do this amount the next day. Or even if it's like a study guide, you can work on these amount of problems one day, and then the next day do these amount of problems. Even if it's just like do in 2 days, that helps a lot, because then you're not having to do this whole thing of work in one day, and you can split it into 2 days, and it's a lot less work than it actually will be. And again, going with all of that, study. I know that seems like really cliche, and everyone's always like, oh, study, you gotta study. It helps a lot. If you study for a test, And again, this doesn't have to be like studying one way for every single test. If you have a certain way you'd like to study, do that. Just somehow find the time to get in those last few minutes of either like cramming info or taking a quick little quiz on it, or even just writing things down that are important on like a separate sheet of paper. For people who write things down to help them remember. Extra credit. Not every teacher is going to offer extra credit. I've been in a few classes where they've specifically said, like, I won't do extra credit, but if we need to work out a situation, we will. But if your teacher offers extra credit, take it. It's going to save you, because it could push you from like that 89.5 up to that A. And colleges don't look at your actual percentage, they just look at the letter grade you got. So they'll see, it could be like a really high B, but they're still going to see a B. So do as much extra credit as you can. If the class offers it, take it, do it. It's not going to be like a lot of work most of the time, just a couple extra things here and there. Take good notes. A lot of the times teachers won't require you to take notes in class, but they'll encourage it. Take the notes, because in the end, when it comes down to studying for that final exam or that big test you have, it's going to be good to have all the information that you need so you can study specific things and you're not missing anything, so you don't show up on the day of a test and realize, oh, you never remembered what this was, or you learned it but you completely forgot because you never wrote it down. Take good notes. There's no right or wrong way to take notes. It's how you do it, but just make sure you're getting the information down in a way that you can go back later and look at it and read over it again. Find a good study/work playlist. Sometimes teachers will let you listen to music, or even when you're at home doing homework and you like to listen to music or you just like to fill in sound, find like a good playlist of they can be like motivational songs, they can be like chill songs. Just find something that you like listening to while you're working, and it'll keep you focused on your work and you're not like distracting yourself with other things like checking your phone every 5 minutes. I'm going to move on to some of my health advice. Again, this may apply to you, this may not. It just depends. Get lots of sleep. Again, seems cliche, but it's going to be one of those things where if you get enough sleep, you're going to learn more. Your brain's going to be more active the next day to be able to learn more. So just make sure you work out a good sleep schedule that can accommodate all of the other stuff you have to do with school, or outside of school, extracurricular stuff, and sleep. Drink lots of water. Bring a water bottle to class. A lot of times, teachers don't really mind if you drink water. It's not that big of a deal. But water will help you stay awake. It'll help you focus better. It'll keep you from getting too hot in like these stuffy classrooms. You also need water to live. So there's that. I have 2 water bottles. I have a hydro flask, and then I have this one I got from NASA. I use both of them. I like using this one during the school year just because it's got the straw in it. Drink water. Bring a water bottle to school. Don't rely on the water fountains at school either. A lot of the times that water isn't any kind of cold. It's actually going to be like hot, or it doesn't taste that great. Going with water and intake. Bring snacks if you can to school. I know that not everyone can do that, but if you can and you have the ability to, bring a snack to school. Again, if you're hungry, you're not going to learn well. A lot of the times teachers won't mind if you eat in class. Just ask first. Find a good class that you can eat that's kind of in the middle of your day and not around lunch, that the teacher doesn't mind you eating. And then bring like a good filling lunch. Don't just bring like a bag of chips if you can. And if you can't bring a lunch from home, a lot of the time schools will offer free or reduced price lunches for those who are eligible for it. So take advantage of that too, because a lot of the times you may be eligible for something that you didn't know you were. And again, eating and not being hungry is going to help you learn more. It's going to help you stay awake. Have good hygiene. It sounds silly, but really, you're going to be stuck inside a classroom that may not have working air conditioning, and you might be wearing a mask this year again. You might be like 3 feet from somebody and you can smell them. So just make sure you're clean, brushing your teeth, stuff like that. Don't come to school with like mud all over you, I guess. You don't want to be uncomfortable. So just make sure you're taking care of that. Again, that goes also for like bathrooms. Go. If you need to go, go. And if it's like during passing time, find a way to see if there's a bathroom on your way from class to class that you can easily access. Like if you have 2 classes that are fairly close to each other and there's a bathroom kind of in the middle, do that during that class or during that passing time. Make sure you're staying on top of your health. If you feel sick, watch it. If you are experiencing like flu symptoms or even like COVID symptoms, stay home. It's okay to miss a day or two from school every now and then. If it's something where you're missing like weeks of school, go to the doctor. But headaches, take care of that, because again, if you're not comfortable enough to sit in class, you're not going to be comfortable enough to learn or to even retain information that you are learning. And this also goes with mental health. If you wake up one day and you just don't feel like you have no motivation to go to school, you are stressed, you don't know what to do, take a day off. It's okay. Again, if you have the ability to. Take a day off, rest, maybe focus on working a little bit on that project that's due soon that you're stressed about. Do a little bit of that. It's very easy to make up work. A lot of teachers will be like, oh, it's hard to make up work. It's fairly easy. A lot of the times teachers will work with you to make up that work. So take a day off if you need it. That's what I'm saying. So that's it with health stuff. Moving on to like social experiences. So you don't have to be friends with everyone. I know it seems like, oh, you're either friends with this group of people or you're friends with this group of people. You don't have to do that. Just make some friends. Make us like a small group of friends that you're comfortable with, you're extremely close with. They can be your emotional support when you need it. You can rely on them. Like those kind of friends. You don't have to be friends with like 15 people. It can be like 3. It's okay. Again, don't worry about knowing everyone. Make at least like one friend in every class. And again, I know for a lot of people that seems really stressful. I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people at all. But even if you're not friends, like one person that if you missed a day, you can go, hey, what were the notes for yesterday? Or hey, what did we learn that you're comfortable talking to? That way you're not having to either like go up to the teacher after class to ask, or wait, you can get it right then and there, and they'll be even to like send you the notes that they did that day that you were out, like through your phone. Say like you're out on a Monday, they can send you the notes for Monday that night, or even like Tuesday morning or something before class. So try and find like one person in every class that you can rely on. Go to school events. I know for a lot of people that may not seem like something they want to do, but again, for a lot of those people, you're gonna look back on a few years or even like your senior year of high school and go like, I wish I went to this event. I know for even me, like even right now, there were stuff I didn't do in my freshman year that I regret a lot. Like I didn't do homecoming, I didn't go to football games, I didn't do Spirit Week, and I kind of do regret it, and I wish I did it in my freshman year, but there's nothing I can do about it now except tell you guys, like, do it. So like go to the football games, go to homecoming, do pep rallies, do Spirit Week, because you're gonna find like if you go, they're a lot of fun, especially if you go with like friends. Like don't go alone. I would say that you're not gonna have as much fun if you go alone, but like get friends involved. It's gonna be fun. Hang out outside of school. For a lot of people coming back from this pandemic, or even if you were in high school, you know what I'm talking about. You were in the middle of your high school year and the pandemic hit, and you realized that the only social interaction you really got was at school. So don't rely on school to be your only social interaction. Get like friends together Friday night and like go to the store and, you know, goof around the store a little bit. Don't do anything illegal against store's policy, but you know, maybe just have some fun. Make like a game, who can find the silliest toy, or who can find the weirdest book, or even just like go out to a Sonic and eat something with your friends. Just have fun with your friends, have fun outside of school as well. I'm going to talk about like general things like overall in school. Have a schedule. So you're at school for 8 hours. What are you going to do when you get home? What are you going to do before dinner? If you have work around homework for that, like make sure you're sticking to a schedule, because you'll have a little more sanity. I'm not saying like make everything the same, but at least like have somewhat of like, okay, you know you're gonna come home and you're gonna do homework for like an hour or two, and then you're gonna take a little break, maybe go to work or something. Just have like a schedule that you can keep to. Going with schedules, memorize your class schedule, memorize how you get to and from class, but also pay attention. Pay attention in school, pay attention during class. You're gonna miss a lot if you don't, and I don't mean just like information and education wise. You're gonna miss like stuff that happens every day. Like you could miss a bathroom catching on fire. I don't know. Just like pay attention in general to things in life. I don't know. Life advice, yay. Plan ahead. If you know you're going to be gone for a few days, plan ahead with your teachers about classwork or about something that you're going to make up. And this kind of goes back with like staying on top of your grades. Just make sure you have a plan for when you come back to school. Wear stuff that's comfortable. You don't have to dress like everyone else. You don't have to dress like completely unique and individual. You can, but the biggest thing I would say about dressing, unless your school has a dress code, dress comfortably, dress how something that's comfortable for you, so you can be able to sit down in a class for like an hour and learn, and you're not going to be distracted by what you wear. And I don't mean like there's like rips in your jeans or something. That's not what I mean. I mean like if your shirt is itchy, that's going to be distracting. Don't wear that. You're going to be distracted the whole time by like, oh, my shirt's itchy, I need to itch, and you're not going to be paying attention in class. So just wear something that's comfortable that you can sit and learn with, really. So this goes for people who haven't been to high school yet. You don't need to like rush to your next class. You're going to have enough time to go from class to class, especially if you like plan out when you go to your locker, when you go to the bathroom. You're gonna have enough time. And a lot of the times, if you have like a longer school like mine and you have to walk from one end to the other, when you talk to your teacher about that, they'll be very understanding about it, and they'll give you a little bit more leeway. Like 1 year I had to walk all the way from my cafeteria at one end of the school to like the farthest classroom up near the office on the complete other side. My school's like a quarter of a mile, and we have to do that in like 5 minutes. So a lot of the times I was maybe like a couple seconds late, maybe a minute, but my teacher understood that I was coming from all the way on the other side, and she was completely okay with that because I talked to her about it and she understood. We had like a mutual understanding. So you don't need to rush to your next class. And also, don't take your time. You don't need to rush, but don't walk really slow in the hallway. Make sure you're getting there in the appropriate amount of time. Don't talk to your friends for a few minutes in the middle of the hallway. Get to class, because you can easily walk a certain amount of distance with your friend. When it comes down to like clubs and stuff, don't join things so you can have it look good on your school record. Because if you find yourself doing that, you're not gonna enjoy them. Unless it's something you really enjoy and it's just an added bonus. Join clubs, sports, whatever, because you want to do them. Because you genuinely have fun in those things. If you're really into softball, try and join the softball team. Not because it's gonna look good on a college that you did high school softball, but because you genuinely enjoy doing softball. So that's it for like general. I am going to take a quick second to talk more about like grade specific things. So for freshmen specifically, I would advise against taking an AP class during your freshman year, just because you're going to be coming from a middle school load of work and you're not going to be like well equipped to handle, unless you've already taken high school class, like actual high school classes and not just classes that they say is a high school credit. You're not going to be equipped to handling or used to handling like high school amounts of work, and APs are a step up from that. They're a college amount of work, so they're a little different. So I would say like don't take an AP class during your first year of high school. Again, it doesn't really matter because your grades for both freshman year and sophomore, where they're important, they're not going to be the ones that colleges are really going to look at. They're not going to be like, oh, this person got a B in their freshman math class second semester. They're not going to do that. They're just going to like kind of glance over those and then move on to your junior grades, because those are the grades that really showed how much you've progressed and how much you learned. Again, colleges don't look at quarter grades either. They look at only semester grades. High school combines both quarter grades and our semester final into our whole semester grade. Colleges are only going to look at that. So even if you got straight A's in a class, but then you did poorly on your final, it's going to average out to be higher than what you expected. And again, junior year is your most important year. If you're okay with handling the amount of work, I would say go ahead and start taking AP classes then. Don't try and cram your full schedule, ease into it. Maybe take one your sophomore year and then maybe do like 2, 3, I would say at the most, your junior year. And then you can do whatever you want your senior year. Your senior year is just finishing your credits. Going with credits. Focus on getting your graduation credits as soon as you can, because a lot of the times schools won't tell you exactly what you'll need, and you'll be stuck taking 2 years of a language in 1 year because you didn't realize that you had to have 2 years of a language to graduate. You'll get stuck with a wonky schedule come your senior year, so make sure you're focusing on getting your credits done as soon as possible. So like take all the math courses you need, take science that you need. My friend actually just got stuck taking US government in her senior year, even though it's a class that really only freshmen take, because she didn't realize she needed the credit to graduate. So now she's stuck doing that. So just make sure you're on top of your credits as well. And the last thing I have to say about high school, and any advice I have for that, is just enjoy your time, have fun. Because these are really gonna be the years you look back on and you're gonna like, those were some of the best years of your life. I'm gonna get emotional here. Even with the pandemic, I enjoyed high school. Not because it was school, but because of the experience it gave me. Because of the people I was able to be friends with, because of what I learned. And I only have a year left. I'm still gonna be learning things this year. But after that, that's it for me. And there's things I regret, but there's things that I'm looking back on like, I'm so glad I did that when I did. So yeah, just enjoy high school, enjoy your time. It's not as hard as a lot of people make it look or make it seem like. Make it something you're gonna have fun with and that you're not gonna look back on later in life and go, those were some of the worst years. Make it something that you look back and you go, I don't regret a thing. Or you don't regret most of it, because there's still going to be little things that you're going to regret, but make it so you don't regret how you spent your time. With that, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below, what are you most excited for this school year? Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. My Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok will be linked down below. I'm going to try and film throughout the school year. I'm going to do like some of like the bigger stuff like first day and stuff like that. And with that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!